Good afternoon, my friends. It is FPS Astro here today. Comrade Slavic Cat is taking break, getting ration, having great time. It's probably, actually, now that I think about it, a horrible time for me to be doing a Russian accent, but we're gonna keep doing it anyways. So anyhow, let's get straight to video, shall we? Where do we start? I think the top's in. Also, typical preamble, I'm extremely tired, so it's probably gonna be a quickie, as this video probably goes for like 20 minutes. Alrighty. SPY. So we called this to the T again. And once again, I screwed myself. I screwed myself real good. I would have been up another like 1,000% today had I had my puts, which I did at open, and then I closed them out right around here. I thought it was about to have liftoff again and go back into redistribution, and I was so wrong. I was so wrong, and I'm so mad at myself for it. Where I went wrong is that I didn't trust my instruments, I didn't trust my tools, I didn't trust my gut, and a big lesson learned. The giveaway that I should have been like keeping up with was this 200 Wyckoff Snippy Snipe distribution line. Seeing it get this close without any volume coming in to actually redeem it back into the 400s was a clear sign, and I didn't execute. This, I think, is the top. We called the bottom, and now I think that we're hitting a top, and we're going to go back down to the mid 380s over the next week or so. And that includes meme stocks for the foreseeable future until they start to show actual negative beta. And please, for the love of Christ, do not misconstrue that for MOAS. Yeah, so on the daily, we're getting rejected off the midline. The signature that I'm looking at here as to why I think this is the top is all of this right here. Going back to the beginning of the year, we were above distribution. This is the 31. I'll just show my config real quick. Yeah, all this. Above on the daily, rejected from the daily, also rejected from the daily. We actually pushed through on the daily, but the daily was rising, so that does act as a form of momentum, keeping it up. And then if we look at the 51, we have the exact same thing taking place, where we are above on the daily. I think we've already exhausted that little like redistribution cluster that you normally get, where you see it kind of hang out above distribution, but then fall back through. I think we just saw that get exhausted. So I'm going to say this is the top. Another pretty historical thing to actually reference here is the 200 Wyckoff Snippy Snipe for what we're going to call Dixie, aka DXY, the dollar index. We're calling her Dixie. Is making a spring off of the daily distribution. And if you're not familiar, when Dixie goes up, stonks go down. And when Dixie goes down, I go down with her because she's pretty hot. This level hasn't been seen. The last time it was in 2016. The time after that was 2019 and COVID. So this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. Pretty much half of the gains, about half of the gains that the dollar has generated for itself. Not like literal, like, oh, we bought the dollar and now we're cashing out. Not like that. I just mean the progress that the United States and the Fed have made. About a third to half of that has just been wiped over the past handful of weeks. So as far as SPY goes, I think we're going to bleed tomorrow. This is such a convenient gap. Not literal gap, but this like air pocket, as Banff would say. this wick and this wick. These are all surpluses of bullish or bearish behavior. And because this had a low, that is a surplus of bullish, and this had a high, this is also going to be considered a surplus of bullish because of the local ranges. All of the volume that has transacted above here is about to be wiped out, and it's going to cascade. If we look at the Wyckoff Snippy Snipe regions, we have support on the daily all the way down to 374 and 373 and 368. I'm going to go to futures actually, just because the pricing is a bit less noisy. On the 4-hour, yeah, we're actually pushing below distribution on the 4-hour. Futures are down 0.5% right now. Nearest support is at 386.7 for distribution, and then accumulation is 373, 372.6, 369, and yeah, low 360s. Yeah, this is looking real heavy. This is looking real heavy. On the 1-hour, we have 382, 375, 367. On the 30-minute, nothing until 376. On the 15-minute, we're about to actually fall through that now, I think. We're bouncing off of it, but I think we're going to fall through it. So that's looking real bloody. And real quick, just to plug the old sponsorship, today's sponsor is, give me 5 years while I pull it up, is BINGX. The best crypto exchange around that will not rug pull you either, or run off with $42 billion in clients' money either, and then throw it into some hedge fund and blow it. They don't do that. In fact, they'll do the opposite. They'll give you $100 for free if you deposit with this code. I54OP8, Indigo 54 Omega P8. YouTube is being really stringent about what I can say. Or use the link in the description. Sign up, get your free $100 bonus, support the channel, and join the endeavor of deplatforming Robinhood and replacing it with BINGX. Now let's get back to the show. AMC. Looking really good, except for the fact that it's not quite keeping up with where I would want it to be in terms of forward momentum. On the daily, we still have room all the way up to 1187, 1403, and 1888. On the 4-hour, we're going to be seeing a resistance here soon at 840, and if we extrapolate this, yeah, pretty much going into tomorrow, this is a huge make or break zone. So right around noon tomorrow, we should see something interesting. Next target would be 1092 if it gets past that, and the one after that is 1263. On the 1-hour, starting to form a triple cluster, actually. We haven't seen that in a while. The good news so far, and just from seeing it today, is all this red you're seeing is market ill performance. So the brighter this red is, the worse the overall market is doing, and Amy is actually holding her own. Believe it or not, even I'm still in awe. So we will still be going long calls. Ever since calling out this move from last week, or maybe like late 2 weeks ago, this is up 66% and has yielded multiple multi-100% gains via calls and puts if you're not fucking stupid. Sorry, that's my one F-bomb. Yeah, so looking really good. I think we have a triple cluster on the 30-minute. Yep, 30-minute has a triple cluster. So if it does manage to break through 810 is where this thing flies. 15-minute also looking really good. Triple cluster on there. Support sitting all the way down at 670 though, so that's something that should be accounted for and kept in mind. Looking really good. Like This is probably the best setup we've seen in a very long time, and that's not a meme. That's not unironically Moaz, but this is really good. And as far as the way it closed today, it's set up as a triple cluster, so we could see a gap up tomorrow with it. Jimbo, same thing, showing a lot of temper, is what we'll call it. Sustaining these levels really, really well, and this is some really like pretty price action, even though it's like really range bound and somewhat red. This is pure accumulation, and this looks fantastic. No resistance until we get to $30, and then after that is $38, and after that is $45. That's on the daily. On the 4 hour, a double cluster. That's actually really important. I didn't even know that was a thing until now. That's really good. That is sitting at 27.97 up to 28.50. So if we actually get past 28.50 with some volume, this thing can easily shoot to the mid 30s. On the 1 hour triple cluster, that's actually really huge. We haven't seen one of these since like January of 21 for the 1 hour. And we're currently writing that as we speak. The 30-minute closed below it going into after hours, but a triple cluster as well, also huge. And then the 5-minute, we closed just under a triple cluster, so this could also gap up tomorrow. Overall, this is all looking really good, despite the market events and circumstances. SPY is approaching the 5-minute accumulation band, so could see an intermittent pop up to 397, 398, but then gonna go back down. So we're long meme stocks, short the market, and yeah, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. So we're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna take my happy ass to bed. Good night. Sleep tight. And stay black.